And Nico Harrison, now the former general manager of the uh, Dallas Mavericks, promptly given his box earlier this week by Patrick Dumont, the Dumont family. And I did a little bit of audio. I did a video on it, put on my other channel, and I look, this guy was going to get fired. I said that as much as 9 months ago when this whole thing was going down.
Yeah.
I maintain that the teams should have the flexibility to make the trades, in these situations as well. But man, James, I gotta say, man, it don't pass the smell test. A lot of this for me, the way some of this stuff is going down, and Nico Harrison has been just made the face of all this stuff. Like he's this mad scientist. He's this one man with all this power. And I'm here to tell you, I don't believe it.
Okay. Continue. I'm willing to listen.
Yeah, like Nico Harrison has been splashed all as the leader and the general of all this, and no one has talked about Mavs ownership's role in this. The ownership is not letting that man go out the door without their say so on that, without their sign off, without their green light, without it being their idea to do. And if these people don't know basketball, perhaps they should. Like the whole thing with it is I haven't seen Patrick Dumont getting raked over the coals over this. Like he completely omitted his own role when he put that open letter out. It was them that didn't want to pay Luka Doncic. Neil Harrison don't control the payroll. So once they decide they don't want that supermax contract, and also that Luka Doncic is the most powerful person in the building, even above team ownership, they wanted to get rid of him.
You lost me on the last sentence. Where do you come to that conclusion that Luka they didn't want or they were afraid of the power of Luka Doncic? Like how, where do you
because
get
they
come to that from ownership's perspective? Not Nico, but from ownership's perspective.
because they systematically got rid of everyone around the building that were Luca people, that were Luca guys. They knew they would be on the hook in that city with Luca Doncic, and they didn't want to commit to him for whatever reason it may be, whether it's basketball reasons, as they kind of dressed up, or if it's something below board.
And you came to the conclusion that was ownership, not Nico.
Yes, because like how is Nico Harrison going to make a move like this?
No. I'm talking about the branching parts of it. Like the okay, so
They basically
I
said we don't want to sign him, so we have to trade him. You figure it out, Nico. You're the GM. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. This is my basketball philosophy on it. I think defense wins the championships. We can get Anthony Davis. We can do that. I'll wear it in public. But this thing came from ownership. There's no fucking way.
okay, so the reason why I'm skeptical on this part about like okay, I am if they tell you have to trade Luka Doncic for AD, it is not your idea. You just don't do it to make them fire you, and then you leak out why,
Well, the leak, I'm
right?
sure is I'm sure the leak is coming. He made him fire him at
No,
this
no,
point.
Rich,
No, because
Rich.
no, because the other thinking before was you quit before. I'm like, why would you quit and not get your money? He's gonna
I
get his
just
money,
I just explained to you why.
right?
Because if
And
you
now,
if you're the person that is the GM that trades away Luka Doncic in that package, you are thereby saying I will never get another top executive job in the NBA ever again because no ownership will ever hire me because it's such a dumb trade. And then the trade turned out worse than we ever could have imagined back then. And I was saying this back then 9 months ago. So the idea is okay, you say no, I'm not doing this. You're not putting this on my resume. Similar to Bob Myers when he's like, I'm not signing up for this Warriors thing right now with what's going on. I'm getting out of here. I'm taking an office. I'm taking a TV job. And You can live this. You can live another day at another place, and you say, "Hey, my reputation doesn't have this on it," and you also leak it out. And you're like, Why did you quit?" That didn't happen. Over and over, overwhelmingly, over the last 9 months, in quotes, in public, and all the stuff leaked and back channel stuff that you hear get out as far as rumors or this person, this executive that completely matches Nico Harrison's description, but ain't exactly Nico. Is it told to be Nico outright explicitly? It's been like, no, this was Nico's idea. He did not like Luka Doncic. He wanted him out of here. He got rid of it. He's the person that got rid of the quote unquote Luca people that were in the staff in the office and in the facility over the past year before they got to getting rid of Luca. So like it'd be one thing if like um there was anything that I could see like, all right, this is more Nico than ownership. Ultimately, it's still they should definitely have shit on them as you're saying, the ownership. But at first and foremost, like
All
Nico
I see is
Harrison, can I finish? Let me
yeah,
land.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, Nico Harrison actually was a good GM until he made the worst trade in the history of the NBA, possibly. It's like the trades he made for to get Gafford and PJ Washington to get to that run to the finals. Like you then believe in this GM after you do that. And then in their new owners, they don't know, they should know, whatever. That, then do their due diligence, whatever else, and then look around and be like, hey, this is fucking stupid to trade away, one of the eight like most potent offensive players in the history of the league at 25 or 24, whatever. But there was a bit of faith in them that they signed off on this after they said all this stuff about it. Now, so yeah, for me, it's like it appears to me from what I've read over the past, since this trade happened and going back with the fallout between, or not the fallout, but like some of the in-house stuff that's going on with Dallas. Like Nico was trying to get Luca out of there for a while. That wasn't his first trade to try to get him out of the Luca business, and then they finally did that, and then everything going forward since then, from that moment on, after all the stuff, the reporting to even the day he gets fired, or the day he gets fired during this week, was this was a or sorry, this was a Nico Harrison operation, and the ownership was dumb enough to run along it and not just say hell no, we're not doing it. So yeah, so I am the step below you and saying like it's ownership as far as this is really an ownership thing. Like no, this is a Nico thing, and somehow he was able to talk the ownership just signing off on this dumbass thing as well.
All I see is this black face all over this thing. And I hate to go there with it, right? Because it ain't like niggas is immune to doing dumb shit. See Joe Dumars in New Orleans. But
Yeah,
all
but
I
Joe Dumar, here's another thing with Joe Dumar. I don't know the Dumar thing. Dumar was a bad GM when he's in Detroit too. So I mean, he
yeah,
drafted Darko Milicic over fucking Melo or Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh.
right. But like I see Luca in that city and I see that ownership and how people have reacted to this trade. I think this has kind of been like the thing that I think has not been talked about enough is like they traded this white, essentially, even though he's European superstar out of Dallas or whatever with this ownership. And it's like now you gotta sell that team. And luckily they were gifted Cooper Flag. Like, right? Separate of this, right? Like that's separate of like this entire situation, right? But
Uh huh.
it's like all these quotes from the owners after the trade about him being fat and all this, like, you know how they tried to bury Luca on the way out the door. Like, I don't know
Okay,
if that was
so
necessarily from
so
Nico Harrison.
so the only thing from the only negative part about Luca that I remember from ownership was when Dumont, I think believe it was Dumont, put out that crazy telling, I know you don't know what you're doing quotes when he says, hey, uh, all these guys or whatever else are driven in these certain ways. LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, I believe. I don't know Magic or Bird, but the name put at the end was Shaq, and we were like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, because Shaq absolutely was lazy, and he
Mm-hmm.
was way lazier than Luca ever proved to be. So what are we talking about? So, but that's the worst like Luca quote at that time. So from ownership, everything else that you heard about the bearing thing is like, oh, that appears to be Nico's. back channeling or whatever else. Oh, he's 270 pounds. He's 6'7". He's 6'8". Who gives a shit?
I look forward to hearing from Nico Harrison now that he's not on the clock no more at that organization, and I wonder who it's going to be.
I
Who's going to stick their neck out to get the big Nico Harrison feature? Does he like try to like call and go on the shop with LeBron? Does he try to go on Mind the Game with this? Actually, he can't do that because he's a
Nah,
Laker. He can't do
absolutely not.
that.
Nah. So the thing for me is if this was this is the ownership driven thing, Nico would have been gotten it out. Like how many black and okay, just be honest. Think of how the networking shit goes. You mean to tell me there ain't a Vince Goodwill or Chris Haynes ain't tapped or Mark Spears ain't tapped in to get a hold of him to be like, hey bro, tell me what really fucking going on so I can help protect you. Come on now.
Somebody.
Somebody
Somebody
it would have
gotta
it
call
would
him.
have no, forget that. It would have already been out by now that this wasn't his idea. And another part about this is like even Jason Kidd was on board with this apparently. And
Right.
keep in mind Jason Kidd was always like he pushed it more as like, no, this more his
Nah,
this more
he's in
Luke
it
idea.
too. Look,
No,
and
no, no, no,
then
no, no,
he
no.
might be
Hold
the
on, let me
new
finish.
GM, James.
That's why. Before I get to that point, is like it's always been a situation where like we knew that Kid was also in lockstep with the decision to trade Luca, but whenever asked about it publicly, he was always like he never took accountability for it and put it more on Nico in public. And Jason Kidd has always been a bordering on brilliant level like PR person in the NBA in his history over the last
A
30
Jeter
years.
like a Jeter like individual.
Well, Jeter never caught a case, but
Well,
But
yes,
but but, the,
but I mean,
but
like
my point is,
he makes people
my point
feel
is,
good.
kid caught a case, and I'm sure there's somebody is in here listening that's not our age that don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that shit
That's
was
how that's how good kid has been with this over the last 30 years.
that shit was erased.
Right, right.
Um,
So for me, I hated the trade when it happened. I believe I listened back to it in a while back, and you were like, we shouldn't be caught up in the algorithms and we shouldn't be on these guys not to not make the deals they want to make, let them go out there and do whatever dumb shit that free that fans do. I'm like, and my point to you was like, this sounds real good coming from a person that cheers and roots for the franchise that benefits off this dumb shit more than any other franchise. And I was like, I see what you're doing. I see what you're saying, Rich. This is nasty. This is nasty. So
look, you left
now,
one
now
part
that
out
we now
though.
that, go ahead.
I said this league was built on fleecing motherfuckers, and then I named every fucking GM over the history of the league that's done this.
Yes. Yes, I was aware. I remember that, but at the end of it, I was like, I know what ultimately why you're saying this. I know the reason why you're saying this, right? Like, the if you were like, it's basically like, look, man, if you're a Celtics fan and you can get because of the connection, you can get KG at the end of his prime for a ham sandwich, right? If you are a Lakers fan, you can get Paul Gasol for his fat younger brother at the time that was under that was hadn't reached his potential, not even close to it yet,
Hadn't even
right?
played a
If
game in
you
the
are,
league yet.
yeah, right. If you are, if you can get Luka Doncic at 25 for AD at 31 or 32, you get it. Like if you are one of these franchises that have benefited from the history of the league of nonsensical trades and that kind of stuff, I see why you cool with it. But if you
Hey,
someone like me that just watches and don't care who wins and loses, and you just fan of the league, you're like, okay, so you made the finals last in 2024. You get and by 2025, I'm sorry, you get in the finals one off season, and in 365 days later, with the first pick, you're up because of a trade that bad. It's like, all right, bro, what are we doing? And
hey,
I didn't know we were going to delete his Cooper flag thing, but it was like, this is a disaster.
like
And
Nas said,
that
who
wasn't
am
even part.
I
That,
to disagree?
all right, That trade was so bad that they literally were in the finals one in June, and then by next June they had the first pick in the draft. And that trade it went worse than I thought it was going to go. And like even I went back as we talked about the you talked about the going back to when the trade happened. I went back to when the Mavs won the lottery,
Hmm.
and I said, hey, we don't know what Kuzma is going to be, but the way that roster was built was for them to try to do something over the next 2 3 years. He is. I thought he was 20 at the time. You would correct me and told me actually he's a year younger. He's 19. I was like, hey man, they're trying to two timeline shit, and it's not gonna work. And because they didn't have a draft, they didn't have a draft picks because they one of their draft picks in the future is going to OKC. Another one is going to the Spurs. Another is going to Brooklyn from the Kyrie trade. And they only had like two draft picks from the next two first round draft picks from the next like until 2031,
Hmm.
right? And it's like Kyrie gonna come back, he'll be 34, come fresh off a knee injury. AD 33, and now he's more injured than he was before. And now it's like, all right, so how you get now? You don't have your own draft, so you have to trade these guys to get back your draft. All right, so AD's the guy, right?
No.
No, 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 no. I mean, AD's the guy to trade.
Oh yeah, yeah. He got to go. Like
But
on the next thing smoking.
right, but now we're at a point now to where you look at it and you just think to yourself, okay, so how restrictive these new CBA rules are with the apron and all that kind of shit. It's like, all right, so basically what you've done is you're already on the clock with Cooper Flag. You're already on the clock with him. By the time by the you won't be good. You won't be good or have a shot most likely until he's in year six. You're screwed. You're screwed. You can't do any because you're in the Western Conference. You can't do any real winning. You can't get out the play in
Right.
this in that conference. They're done. And by the time he go through this, by the time he gets to unrestricted free agency in year seven, he will be like, "I'm out of here. You ruined the first 7 years of my career. I haven't played a single relevant basketball game in 7 years." They,
Love it.
they may have, and I said this at the time, they may have ruined basketball in North Texas.
Oh yeah.
And it's and now it's even worse looking at it. Like just looking at the futures on, like, oh, it's even worse. It has gone worse over the last 9 months than I could have imagined it had gone. And I thought they were still going to ruin it then. Like they even if they wanted to have kept Nico Harrison to be the booing shield for them, right, for ownership. It got so bad where it's like it's affecting the home games.
Yep.
So yeah, there might be some reprieve of it might not be as bad going forward with the crowd being so negative and all but there'll still be Luka jerseys and Laker Luka jerseys in the arena. But even if they're booing less, they're going to be watching a dirt worse like Western Conference product for the next half decade, and that's even if Cooper Flag turns to an All Star.
It's gonna be bad. They're gonna have to get on their scouting. Like they're gonna have to try to see who's out there that's scraping around the league, and be light years ahead. Like the Miami Heat find niggas all the time off the scrap heap. Get to work.
They're
You know.
the only chance they got, the only chance they got, right? I mean, I don't know how he will leave, but do you say, hey, Sam Press, do you want $100 million?
Nah.
Who else? I know, but I put it like the only way you can get out of this is Sam Presti comes in and does the drafts for you for the next half decade. That's the only way you can get out of this. You're screwed.
I mean, eventually Mark Walters gonna call him. So you know, let's
Yeah,
let's slow it
sure,
down there, James.
sure, sure, sure,
He's trying to
sure.
interrupt fate right now.
All right. Oh man, but
But
it's messed up, man. It's
yeah,
messed up, and like Nico, it's just it was so dumb. And then when the excuse machine came on, and then like the backdoor, rumor mill came out about Luca, it was like, this is dumb. And then Luca showed up this over off season and it lost weight, which we all thought was going to be like, this going to be like when the Lakers traded Shaq, or like, this man finna show up in this off season and he finna embarrass you niggas. And that's exactly what happened.
This nigga
And
like came in here like they did like the one thing to him where it was like you don't do to an athlete, especially a competitor like Luca is. It was like
right,
you gave him a reason to want to stick it to you, like in a really good
yeah,
reason for trading him. Look, you took his money, and he's gonna be able to get it back. Like I saw something the other day where it was like with the Lakers, like how something set up, like he's gonna get everything he quote unquote missed or whatever. But
well,
still, you took his
gotta remember,
money.
he was lucky enough to be at the age to where like he was always gonna be a mascot even after this. That's why I was so dumb to trade him, because of that whole the price tag thing and the sticker shock of people that don't know that these are percentages and not like actual like like round numbers. Is like, he's 31. Unless something crazy happens, he's still gonna be a max player by the time he gets out of this 5 year deal anyway, because that's gonna be 4 year deal. And we knew this, but
Right.
we know this. But like they're trying to play this dumb con game on people that don't know.
So like they took his money, they called him fat, they made him move, and then they was
Yep.
basically like, "We gonna win without you." And the way you play basketball is an affront to our sensibilities. And then the ownership switched on him, like Mark Cuban would have never did this. Like,
Right.
and then now
Never
it's
would have
just
happened.
like Dallas is bro. If you're an NBA player, is there any part of you that ever wants to be on the fucking Dallas Mavs right now?
Rich, they had trouble getting free agents when before this happened. Historically, remember?
Yeah.
Even with even with the the no tax in Texas, or no state tax in Texas, they struggled to get the land big money for agents.
Yeah, so like you did all this to Luka Doncic, and then he went over there and played in Eurobasket, went fucking nuts, and then shows up 40-point triple double average damn near to start this season, and it's just like,
Yeah.
and he looks light years better than he did last year as a Laker.
And that
So
was still and when he played, and when he I'm sorry, and after the trade, like the Lakers were like 26-10,
yeah,
right? So like, I was saying to you, during the off season, or even at the beginning of the season, like, hey man, don't you think it's strange? I think in the preview we were like, I think it's strange that the Lakers are like, they're like projected to be like this, you know, like play in fighting for their lives fodder. I'm like, bro, they were the 3 seed. I know they were in like a multiple team tie, but it's like they but like, forget that part. It's like that happened with like Luca hampered, LeBron hampered as well, and then also had to integrate these guys, and also the roster made more sense this year than last year on paper, just on the upgrade of Aiden. Even Aiden's gonna be super inconsistent throughout the year, ups and downs. Even his lows are gonna be better than Jackson Hayes' lows. He's a better player than Jackson Hayes. So it's like, I never understood why people thought this team was gonna be like struggling for the play-in.
hmm
And it's like and right now, I think they're 3 or 4 seed right now. It's obviously it's very very early, but like their second best player hasn't even played yet. And it's in their best player has been in and out the lineup, and their third best player has been in and out the lineup already. So what do you think is going to happen when these three thick offensive all stars are going to be playing together? Like, they're going to be a good team all year. Can they win the title? No, but that's not the point. They're a team that's way more entertaining to watch now going forward, because they have Luka fucking Doncic on their team.
Thank
I,
you, Nico Harrison. Thank you, Nico Harrison. Let us know if you would like office in the building, or if you would need some type of commemoration or special thank Nico Harrison night. Something like that they could do before the game. We can invite Nico. We can
have,
invite his family.
well,
They under stress. He'll be
well,
safe in L.A. I
I
don't know
know.
about
Have you
Texas,
heard?
but he'll be safe.
ha- Have you seen the AI or the Photoshop of like a Nico Harrison statue outside of Stables? Have you seen
Yes,
that yet?
yes, yes.
Yeah,
I saw it. I was like, look, I ain't going that far. We ain't gonna get Nico to stat. Look, we can have Nico Harrison night. We can have a rolling sixties protection squad to usher him in. Make sure he's good to go.
I don't.
We'll let him sit in Jerry Buss's seat where he used to watch the games. We'll let him go
Oh
up there.
man.
Let him watch practice.
Man,
But then Luca's
just
probably gonna order him to be escorted out the building. So like it'll be a quick visit.
yeah. Yeah, I just can't believe it, bro. I still can't believe it. And like trade some in like the Dallas Mavericks, like their team gets more injured and like do you know that like they're having like one of the worst offenses of all time right now so far
Yes.
this start of the season.
Yes.
Like it's I mean, get me wrong, like they have a a 3-4 big wing playing point guard that's not like
Yeah,
LeBron James right
it's
now,
all
so
fucked
there's
up.
that.
It's all
Yeah.
fucked up for them. Like,
Like,
and
yeah, Luke, yeah. Cooper Flag, like we expect you to be one of the better pitchers in the NBA. Yeah, play point guard for us. Play point guard, sure. All right,
man.
it's a mess, man. A total mess.
So let's move on
Oh,
off of that.
I
Oh,
gotta ask you.
yeah,
If you were a Mavs fan, will you divorce a team?
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
would.
Like unless you found yourself where like, yo, I'm gonna ride with Cooper Flag. If you already fall in love with
When,
Cooper Flag, yeah, I say you ride it out, right? But if you like looking at the tea leaves and looking around and then
mhm,
seeing like this ownership group, you gotta feel like this ownership group doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Bill Simmons used to talk
uh-huh.
about what the new owners used to do when they get in the league. They want to make some big splashy move. Well, this was their splashy move right here, trading Luka Doncic. And unfortunately, there's like a bunch of shit piled up on top of this now because they're gonna have to eventually trade Kyrie Irving, who has no trade value, and then they're gonna have to trade Anthony Davis for a plate of shit, like because
So
of his contract situation.
right. So my question is, because I thought your answer would be that. What would have been your divorce point? When would you have served them papers in this timeline?
I think the second Anthony Davis got hurt during the first game he played, I'd have been like,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what? I'd have been like, you know what? Absolute the fuck not.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have been like, you could have been halfway convinced that first 5 minutes of that
Yes.
game, and then
You'd
all
be
of a
like,
sudden
you know what?
because
Fuck
he's
it.
going nuts. Like, oh, he went nuts in the first quarter, and I think he's hurt immediately. And so, you see, even then, like I'm still like it's funny, like even then you're like, he gonna get fired when you say that we're like when that trade happened, and I'm always every single time and every single part of this more negative to you because like the second that trade happened, I'm like I'm done with this franchise. The second February 1st, 2025, when that trade happened, is the moment I would have been done with the Dallas Mavericks franchise if I was that was
We
my
got a
team.
Mavs
I'd
fan.
be done.
We got Mavs fan 84 who I've seen on the YouTube before. He said, "I am convinced that ownership is trying to tank the team." Look,
Do you believe in the Mavs fan 84? Do you believe in this in the same way that like the Vegas thing like that was floating around at the end of the year last year, or is it something more or something else? You just think like they're just flat out they're just bad people, I guess. Like they spend all that money just to fuck up everybody in North Texas.
oh my god, like if we can't get the gambling off in Texas, then we gonna get it where we know we can get it. And what better way to cause a green light for a city than to make everyone hate you?
Man, I just couldn't believe it, bro. All right, man. So where do you want to go to next? Oh yes, actually, no. Before we move on, Ma-
Yeah,
Mavs fan 84 said yes. He believes in that Vegas conspiracy. Okay.
bro, the Vegas theory. Yep,
Damn.
right
Damn.
there.
Damn. Damn.
Like that, I feel like that's tied into this, man. Like it's a lot. Like and when you look up Miriam Adelson or whatever her name is, like there's a lot there and
That picture she has nuts. That you know what picture I'm
incredible.
talking about, right? The
Yes,
picture, the picture with yeah, that
I know.
picture's
Look,
nuts.
do I need to display the picture on the side, James? I'm not
Yes,
gonna do
but
that.
yes.
I'm
Oh
not gonna
no,
do
show
that.
it. No, no, show it for the fan. Show it for the viewers on the stream. We will not comment on it. All the jokes that you got once you see it will not be made by us. It will be made by y'all in the chat.
All right.
Yeah, man. That picture does not do her no favors. It mm-mm, mm-mm.
Damn. Hold on.
And she's
Look,
like the Kareem. She's like the Kareem Biggs of it too. You don't
I'm
hear
gonna
nothing
make
from
I'm
her.
gonna make us extra small too on the side. So
Oh shit.
look, y'all ain't gonna say. Here we go.
Yeah. All right, get off, take it off, take it off screen, take it off screen, take it off screen. I'm uncomfortable. Take it off screen. I'm uncomfortable. Take it off screen. I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. Take it off screen. All right, we move forward. You move forward. You move forward. We move forward. You move forward. Move forward.
Like there's a lot there.
There's a lot. That's a lot of Tam Road there. That's a lot of Tam Road.
There's a lot of
Move
money.
on.
A lot of money.
God damn it.
You know.
God damn it.
Um. So let's talk